What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well on this April 1st. I am doing good. Just got off the golf course. Just shot my first round in the 70s. If you could believe that. I shot a 76 today, y'all. Usually I'm shooting in the 90s, sometimes in the 80s, but we shot a 70s. And then I just realized it's April 1st and I probably shot like a 95 because I didn't add up the back. But sitting down to get my daily recap, or not a daily recap, what are you talking about? Sitting there to get a monthly recap out of the way. We are out of the month of March, if you could believe it. And I didn't think that I did well in the month of March. And then I looked at the chart, or looked at the calendar for March yesterday at the end of the recap, and I was highly surprised. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up Tradervue. Let's get the calendar pulled up. And you're going to see March was not a bad month. Now, it's not the best month. You would say, well, dang, that was a pretty good month. I only see one red day. January had no red days. January had no red days. We'll see how this one stacks up to January once we finish looking at the data. But tried to keep those $100 days. Had a couple of days came up short. Couple of days I made a little bit more, but on average my goal in this account is to make $100 a day. That's the goal in this account. Now I got some other accounts, those goals are a little bit different, but this particular account, the goal is $100 a day. Later on in the month I did kind of step on it a little bit. I did start buying more contracts to kind of increase that. In April, we'll see. I am liking this strategy of trading the hourly channel as my bias and as my range. So that might add a little bit more to the P&L. And you got to bear with me a little bit today. My throat, this darn reflux foolishness is kind of acting up. I just ate lunch and it's acting up today. But looking at the numbers for March, total gains 24.33.43. Average daily gain. Look at that. I say I want to be right around $100. 105.80. That's pretty good. Average winning trade $33. Average loser 21. I'm good with the average loser. I would like to see this up around 50. It just means that I need to hold the trades a little bit longer because a lot of those trades probably went twice as much as I got out of them. Number of winning trades to losers, 77.9. It's a good average right there. I like that. I've stated in the past when I was trading stocks that my wins to losses was about 65. Call it 62 to 65. But this number was higher. The average winners to average losers was higher. So I wouldn't mind seeing this going down to like a 70-30. But let this number come higher. And then that's going to increase the daily gains and the overall gains. Max consecutive wins, 10s. Max consecutive losses, 3. This average position, MFE, this only applies to stock trades. Took a couple of stock trades this month, so that's not really important there. Let's come up here. Let's look at largest gain, 200. That's good. Largest loss, 67. Not so much. But if we increase our risk, this is going to go up when we do take a loss. So can't be mad when you increase the risk and your largest loss goes up. Average trade gain 21. So basically saying that we're making like 21 bucks per contract. Average hold time. Can't use these. These are skewed. This has intraday or overnight holds built into those. So that's a little skewed. Let's come on down. Performance by day of the week. This one here gets me every month because Mondays always feel like my worst days because I come in with butterflies in my stomach. I come in with a little apprehension because I haven't traded over the weekend. But we see Monday was our best day, followed by Wednesday and then Friday. Somewhat makes somewhat sense. We kind of get our traction going about Wednesday. Friday always seems kind of carefree for whatever reason. Let's come down here. Performance by hour of the day. I like that 9:30 to 10 o'clock. That's always going to be the highest one for me. The 10 to 11, that's the next full hour. Kind of makes sense. And then 11 to 11:30. I like that I didn't take any trades at 12 to 1. Would have really liked to seen this 1 to 2, but that's fine. We made money. And then usually I'll come back and sit down at 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's usually when I'm getting back to my desk looking to see what the market has been doing. We're only looking at March right now. And then, like I said, we did take some multi-days, made $400. That's good. Added that 400. And this right here actually made some of those green days what they were. Quite a few of the green days on the calendar this month were saved by overnight holds, me closing out overnight hold positions. Performance by intraday time wise, we see holding 2 minutes to 10 minutes, we made the most. And then 10 to 40, we made the most. We see this was probably one trade, holding it 40 minutes to an hour. But usually that 2 minutes to 10 minutes, it's where it's been at. Let's come on up and look at price and volume. It's not going to tell you much because we're buying option contracts. This might have been a stock trade. I don't think I've bought any option contracts that expensive. That's like above my pay grade right there. Performance by volume traded, again, options 2 to 4. That's what I said I'd been buying the most of. Kind of stepped on the gas a few times and bought higher than that, but 2 to 4 is where it's been at. We may see this kind of increase. Hopefully we'll see this increase to the good side and not to the bad side next month. I'll probably buy a few more. Or I'll start looking at 2 ways. I could buy more 0.25s, or I could just buy. So instead of buying 4 0.25 contracts, I could buy 2 0.5 contracts. And it's going to work out the same way. Think about it. If I buy 4 contracts at 0.25 and it moves $1, I'll make $100. Or if I buy 2 0.5 contracts and it moves $1, I'm gonna make that same $100. So I'll probably do that. I'll probably move up the option chain closer to in the money, and I don't have to spend more money on commissions. So we may not see this change, but we still can increase our risk, and on the back end, increase our possible profit potential. Performance by in-trade price range. I looked this up and it didn't really make sense to me. I had to look a little further into it. Instrument. I'm going to go out on a limb and say SPY was the number 1. Booyah. SPY was the number 1. The number 2, I'm surprised on, y'all. Because if y'all remember, I always say that NVDA is my nemesis, followed by Airbnb, which you won't really see me trade no more. But because NVDA is a tech stock, it stays on my watch list. The thing with NVDA, when NVDA was my nemesis, it was not because of NVDA. It was because of me. I would buy NVDA. If you can envision the channels that I like to trade, an uptrend, Price hits the top of the uptrend, it comes back down. It hits the top of the uptrend, it comes back down. It hits the top of the uptrend. I would buy NVDA to go long when it's hitting the top of the channel, expecting a breakout, and then it would do what it was supposed to do and pull back. And I'd take a loss on it, and then I would blame NVDA. So now that I'm using the channels the way they're supposed to be used and not trying to buy a breakout, I like the price action of NVDA. And that's why I guess it's at the top of the performance chart, because I like that price action. So I'll trade it. We see Microsoft is number 3, followed by DKS. I think DKS was an overnight hold. The bottom 20. XOM got Meta on there. Meta was lost 46 bucks on that one. I would have thought Meta would have been on this side. Guess not. This is a strange one that we see. SPX. I took one trade on that one for the month. So that was a new one to the list. Performance by instrument volume, big caps, 25 million or over. That's to be expected. Let's come on down. Performance by instrument relative volume, percent of 50 moving average. We see that 100 to 125 is the big one. I always say that these right here are good for building scanners. I have not built a scanner in a while, and I said last time I was going to try to build one based on this right here. Performance by instruments prior day relative volume. 75% to 125 is the sweet spot. So I can build a scanner that just looks for stocks that had this and see what kind of information it gives me. Performance by instrument movement, we see the stocks that moved 0 to 1% was our sweet spot. And then we come down, performance by instrument opening gap. So stocks that gap down 1% led the way, followed by stocks that gapped over 2%. So stocks gap down 1% and then they moved higher. That's what you get from that right there. Stocks opened down and then they moved higher. Performance by instrument day type. Inside range, don't even need to be trading those. That's not a good day. It's just going to chop around. Outside the range, booyah. That's what you want to trade. Stocks that have either gotten outside of the previous day's range to the upside, or it's gotten outside of the range to the low side. That eliminates resistance most of the time. That eliminates it. Trending up versus trending down. Those trending days were far and few in between, and that's what that shows you right there. Performance by instrument average true range, or I like to say average trading range, just meaning what its average movement. When trading options, you need one that's going to move at least a couple of dollars. If you trade in stocks, you can have a stock that has an average trading range down here when you're only looking for 10 cent worth of movement. Let's say your stop is 10 cent. You only need it to move 20 cents. It doesn't have to have a huge average trading range. But if you trade in options, and like I said, I'll go with a 0.25 delta, I need it to go at least $1 to make $25. That's when you need to have a stock that has an average trading range like over $2. And you see that was the bulk of mine, over $2 up to $25. This is like like Netflix, stuff like that. Netflix has those big moves. Tesla has those big moves. Performance by entry percentage of ATR. I gotta look that one up, but it's negative 200. Interesting. Performance by relative volatility. Another one that I could probably use to build a scanner. 75 to 99%. by relative volatility. So, like I said, it's one that I probably have to look up right there. Performance by entry price versus 50-day simple moving average. Less than 5. You see nothing up in here. Absolutely nothing. So, and that don't really make sense, because that's only $30 gain. I think about that. It's only $30 gain. It's $50 gain. That don't really make much sense to me. Yeah, I don't understand that one either right there. I had to look that up. I will have to look that one up, and we'll talk about it next month after I've looked at it. Look at market behavior. Performance by SPY movement. This is almost showing the same that it showed on the other chart. Probably because SPY was the main one that I was trading against. Outside the range, of course. Let's look at the Q. It's probably going to be the very same. Yep, 0 to 1%. Q's a little higher because most of the stuff that I traded was in the Q's. All right. Look at win the losses expectation, and we're going to wrap this one up. Win the losses, we saw that. P&L, this gives you gross numbers. So we grossed 2947 and we gave back 513. Not bad, not bad. Looking at our curve, we had that one pullback and then we had a nice little steady uptrend. Not bad at all. A little slight pull there, but nice curve. Nice curve. Let's look real quick at the year, first quarter, I guess it would be. Filter that one out. So made 67.49 on the year. Average daily gain, we right there at that $100 a day. Average wins, this one did go up. Average losers went up a little bit. Wins to losses 78%. That went up. Again, I don't mind seeing this go down, y'all, because that means I'm going to stay in some trades a little bit longer. I'll lose some, but those winners are going to be bigger. Man, we saw that yesterday. I lost $40 on a trade that went like $500. It's just absolutely crazy. Largest gain, that was last month. Okay. Largest loss, 112. Excuse me. Again, these hold times are skewed because we got multi-day trades mixed in there. Let's look at them days. Let's go back, look at the days. Okay, Wednesdays in the first quarter was the best day, followed by Monday. And then we got Friday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are always like the slower days for some reason. Again, that 9:30 to 10 o'clock, that's going to be my best time. I like trading that first 30 minutes. I like it. I don't mind that volatility, especially when I see a channel forming and I can trade it. Pre-market, we see we lost a little bit of money. And right there, not showing, but I could somewhat see a little tiny tail on there. This is what I wanted to see. So March, even though we had that red day in March, it beat January by just under $100. So even though we didn't have any red days in January, March still eked it out. And like I said, that was somewhat because I kind of stepped on the gas a little bit. And I do plan on stepping on the gas a little bit in April. Like I said, I'm not sure if it'll be taking more 0.25 contracts or just taking the same amount and just kicking the deltas up a little bit. And if you look at option chain, you'll notice that the 0.25s, the 0.50s, those have the most open interest. And open interest is what I like to see. Some people say volume, but if you look at option chain before the market opens, there is no volume. There is no volume. So you can't go by volume before the market opens. You only can go by open interest. And open interest is how many contracts are actually out in the street that are available. Once the market opens, now you start getting volume when people start exchanging those contracts that are in the open interest. And volume will climb a lot higher than the open interest because it's an exchange. I buy your contract, that volume is going to constantly move. So you can have 4,000 open interest and volume of like 100,000 because it's just people exchanging. I buy it from you, sell it to somebody else. They buy it, sell it to somebody else, and that causes that volume to go up. But one other thing, I just want to look at instrument real quick for the first quarter. Sure, going to be the SPY, I'm sure. Yep. Figured it would still be the SPY. And look at that, NVDA still right there. But then Tesla comes in number 3, and now Meta is on this side. That's why I was kind of surprised to see Meta over here on the bottom side. These were stocks. XOM, SQ, SMMB, PDD. These were probably all stocks that I traded. And then the Qs. You see the Qs over there. I do not like the price action on the Qs. Don't like the way the Qs moves. But trading futures, I'll trade in Q because it's dollar for dollar. It's not no implied volatility or anything like that that moves with it. On that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap this monthly recap up. Thanks for checking me out as always. If you have not hit that like button, now would be an excellent time to do so. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. I'm just one man that's trying to extract some money out of this market, one trade at a time, slowly but surely. Yeah, that's it. Just trying to learn this thing one day at a time, one trade at a time. And we're going to slowly get there. My thing is, I'm waiting on this market to change. I know we probably got another year or two, but if we could just stick around in this market, and that's really why I haven't really sized up, because I'm just trying to stick around in this market. And when the market changes, I'm going to put my foot all the way on the gas. I'm going to just NASCAR this thing. But right now, I don't think it's the time to do it. It's still choppy. It's still 1 week up, 1 week down. All it takes is for one person to speak at 10 o'clock and we can give back 3 weeks of topside movement in an hour. The market can go from a nice steady trend up to one huge candle. It's like they say, you take the escalator up and the elevator back down. That thing, you just slow grinding on the escalator, la, 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 la. And then Jerome Powell speaks and everybody take the elevator back downstairs. And then you then gave back everything that you then made in one day, trying to step on the gas on that one day. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on slow rolling this thing. Slowly putting my foot on the gas though. I'm not going to just sit there on cruise control. I'll try to put my foot on the gas a little bit, but nothing insane. So stick around, check me out. Let's see what we can do in April. Let's see what these numbers look like in April. On that note, I'm going to wrap this one up and we'll be back at it again on Monday. Peace.